Hey guys, welcome to my last Epoch run, version 1.0 now. I finally managed to get stable enough to start this, so at least that's always good. I purchased this, I think it was May 23. It was on early access for about 4 or 5 years, so it's been a while. I've only had a few hours in early access, no big deal, so there's nothing really to, brag about or whatever. But I have to admit, I'm going in blind. So I've only had about 5, 6 hours of play in early access, and that's about it. So basically, I'm going in blind. So this will be interesting. I don't know what class I'm going to pick or anything, so let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see. Necromancer. Okay. Okay. What about the mage? Always like a good mage. Victory, and now again we're seeing Trump more popular than Nikki Haley, a former governor. Yeah, well, I think honestly it's due to all the attack. People see that he's being unfairly attacked. Whenever you're trying to take him off the ballot, I wasn't initially a Trump supporter. I became a Trump defender just because of the unfair attack. And I think that's pretty good. The citizens see it. And whenever it comes to South Carolina, while Nikki was a good governor, I just don't feel that people feel that she is the same person that she was whenever she was governor. Nikki Haley got an endorsement from another governor out in California that I'm not so sure she wanted. Listen to this soundbite. First of all, I think she's one of our better servants. It's pretty good too. There's a lot of good classes here. I just don't know which one to start with. Let's see, Rogue. You got Marksman here, which I'm looking at heavily.
Well, thank you so much for having us. I think it is a strategy for some Democrats. To me, I don't think that is a good strategy, but certainly I think that Nikki Haley being in the race, there are a lot of Democrats I know today that are planning to vote this Democratic primary that will be voting for Nikki Haley today. So I think it'll be interesting to see.
Paladin to be real nice.
Are doing better than the polls expected. Whether or not those are real legitimate votes she could actually win. She said she could win.
Sentinel got.
But I don't know if she really could. And looking at what she might get today, I think those votes might be inflated because you're going to have some crossover votes who really are not Nikki Haley's supporters.
And Tamika, so if Democrat voters in South Carolina go out and vote for Nikki Haley but don't intend to vote for her in a general election, what does that tell you?
It tells me that there is a segment of folks who believe that having Nikki Haley on the ballot is
so hard to pick sometimes when they're so good and they're so varied. All the classes are really good. Now, the only thing I don't like about Primalist, Beastmaster, Shaman, whatever, Druid would be good. Just the fact they're big and bulky, man. It's like you're fucking huge on the field and nobody's gonna miss a shot. Nah, this is one I'm not gonna get into, the big guy. We've got 46 counties. You have, what, 4 or 5 counties that are actually blue in South Carolina. Regardless. Shoot, Rogue. South Carolina will go Republican. We're a solid red state. All right, we shall see what happens, and we'll see what the results are tonight. Brendan Guffey, Twiga, Isaac Devine, thank you very much for taking time. Thank you. Alicia?
Thanks, Greg. Bill Mallusion has new details on the background of the suspect charged in the death of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. Stay with us.
protein with 30 grams of protein. Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Extra max protein, 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, 25 vitamins and minerals, and a new fiber blend with prebiotics.
TV has a big new deal.
First coaching duo.
It's the new season of The Voice with a double chair.
Buckle up, Reba.
In the premiere of Deal or No Deal.
More adventure, same question. Deal or no deal?
Okay.
Check your local listings. Only the Sleep Number
Rogue.
choose your
So-so.
and comfort your Sleep Number setting. And actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees.
The marksman.
There, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition swap.
If I do go mage, mage. What about Rune Master?
Sandals winter pre-sale is now on for a limited time. Visit sandals.com for all your
See this number? This is the amount of debt our nation has dug itself into. Shocking. And it goes up millions every day. And if you're not worried, you should.
Why? What does she gain by that's? There it is.
Buy gold and silver.
Is it Rune Bolt?
Gold
Was
and silver
was
are the
the,
only forms of currency that make me feel secure. Something that paper money can't do.
okay?
And with Rosalind, what you order is what you get. No gimmicks, no nonsense, no hassle. So take a good look. That's the debt clock. And this is your wake-up call. Buy gold and silver from Rosalind Capital.
Nah. Rune Master no big. Spellblade I like because you can
free silver kit and free IRA kit with
enchant your weapon.
transfer or roll over your IRA. Call 800-630.
That I like.
800-630.
Maybe I'll go Spellblade.
That's 800-630.
Well, mage first and then Spellblade.
We have communist China collusion all around the Democrat Party. Peter Schweizer discusses the findings in his new book. Plus, John Yoo and the legal cases facing Donald Trump on life, liberty, and the man. Repeat after me. Never steal from the weak, the vulnerable again. Get fire.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a big keeper. A special mode outside the game map. The system is failed. It corrected. Still millions.
Normal.
All their lives.
We have laws for these things.
Until they fail. The big keeper. Rated R.
Rock and roll. Check this out.
For more information, visit AA.org.
Last 2 years that I've been on my own, it's been really challenging in order to make ends
She
meet.
dreamt of life.
You know, what you can see that I feel for things like food, keeping the cost of food down. There's groceries and other necessities that you can just always done with a smile. Thanks to amazing seniors like myself who
Of the
live
desert,
in grace and dignity.
Largon of the seas, Ride of the endless stars, and Hierarchs of the frozen
ICE
tundra.
officials confirming to Fox that 26-year-old murder suspect Jose Antonio Ibarra is a Venezuelan national who crossed
Without
illegally
her,
into El Paso,
there was conflict.
Texas in September 2022 and was released into the U.S. on bail. Bill Malaysian is live
It was
from San
right.
Ysidro, California, with more details.
That would pull the world into
Good
his
afternoon to you.
flame.
I can tell you we have had even more
Caught
mass
within Raya's
migrants
gaze
here this morning here
keepers,
in San Diego. By
and
our
order
count, at least 4
sword
Border
to
Patrol buses
protect his
have already
citizen.
pulled up. We'll get right to the video, show you what we've seen so far. Take a look. This is one of those buses earlier. Mass
They
releases
would
not only
join
here with those
us.
from really all around the world. We've got people from China, the Middle East, Afghanistan,
Willing to
Armenia,
walk into the
Africa,
flames of
really
war.
name it. You have probably
But
heard it.
why?
And more than 400 releases yesterday.
Was it
So they expect
honor
more than
and so?
400 more today. Here's what some of the folks told us yesterday. Take a listen.
Or was this fate?
Perhaps. New York,
But
Atlanta,
no
Kansas, New Jersey,
Christ.
Chicago, and here in New York. And then take a look at this ICE data regarding Venezuelan deportations. This is for fiscal year 2023. There were about 335,000 Venezuelans encountered at the border, but only 834 were deported. That is because Venezuela is an uncooperative country. It largely refuses to take its own citizens back. Same issue with Chinese nationals. Take a look at the second graphic here. Fiscal year 2023, just over 24,000 Chinese nationals apprehended by Border Patrol crossing the border illegally, but only 288 of them were deported from the United States. China also another very uncooperative country when it comes to deportation. I'll stop here live here. The Venezuelan numbers are particularly shocking. That is less than a drop in the bucket of Venezuelans who are being removed. And keep in mind, President Biden redesignated temporary protective status for almost 500,000 Venezuelans in the U.S. Essentially, any of them who arrived here before July 31st, 2023, are shielded from deportation. So the bottom line is, Venezuelans who have been crossing our border, mostly, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Only 834 reported this year, 2023. Send it back to you. Well below 1%. Indeed, a drop in the bucket. Bill Malusian, live for us in San Diego. Bill, thank you. Alicia?
And Griff, the NYPD is searching for several suspects in the stabbing of a 17-year-old Nicaraguan migrant in Times Square earlier this week. 7 people were already arrested, but police are looking for 16 others that may have been involved. The attack occurred outside of a building being used as a migrant shelter, the same location where a group of migrants attacked 2 different officers last month. President Biden is set to host the nation's governors again tonight for a black tie reception at the White House. This is Biden reportedly considers executive action on the border crisis. Lucas Tomlinson is live at the White House with more. Hi, Lucas.
Hi, Alicia. That's right. President Biden hosting governors from about 3 dozen states here at the White House as well as this evening. Now, he spoke to them yesterday where he spoke about the border, but there was no mention of any of those proposed executive actions that many Republicans want to see him take.
Any politics in the league. The Speaker of the House has refused to vote on it. Even though, again, there's significant support. Every Republican I've talked to your Republican colleagues, there are the votes on that floor to pass that bill.
The Republicans say Biden can go back and reverse those executive actions he signed on his first day in office to bring back those Trump-era policies. 3 times more migrants have arrived in the United States under Biden's first 3 years in office than Donald Trump's entire term in office. The governors will be attending dinner tonight here at the White House this evening. All Peter Newsom caught up with the governor of Montana yesterday and said the meeting with Biden at the border did not go well.
I presented it again today directly to the president. Said he asked for collaboration, and I had a 10-point plan for him. This is the first time we've actually been in one room talking about it. Unfortunately, it's too scripted and too prearranged. There's more we can do, and now's the time to act.
Republican Congressman Chip Roy says the more than 7 million migrants that have come to the United States over the past 3 years are here on purpose because Democrats have the votes.
He's making it to where our borders are wide open because he sees that as electorally beneficial for him and Democrats. He's trying to transform our country, and he thinks he can get away with it by clamping down an election season on the border.
President Biden has just wrapped up a virtual meeting with G7 leaders at the old executive office building. We saw the president leave the White House earlier and cross the driveway to attend those meetings, with today being the 2-year anniversary of Russia launching its full-scale invasion in Ukraine. Griff, Alicia?
Lucas Tomlinson at the White House. Good to see you. Griff,
Alicia, after 2 years of fighting and desperate pleas for U.S. military aid, Ukrainians are using makeshift weapons in their fight against Russian forces. You got that? Yeah.
Lactate
Beautiful.
is real milk, just without lactose. Delicious, too. Just ask my old friend Kevin.
Nothing like enjoying a cold one while watching the game.
Who's winning? We are, my friend. We are.
You can't leave without cuddles, but you also can't leave covered in hair.
With Bounce Bank, you can cuddle.
Press that hair off.
That is the shit.
The first to document COVID's origin, exposing human trafficking on the border and fentanyl at its source. For daily
challenges can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life, posing a real threat to your family's comfort and safety. When the power goes out, you have no lights, no refrigeration, no heating or air conditioning.
The winds are not letting up at all here. We're going to see some power outages.
Number one thing to prepare for is extended power outages.
Are you prepared? You can be with a Generac home standby generator. When a power outage occurs, your Generac home standby generator automatically powers up using your home's existing natural gas or propane, so your life goes on without disruption. You and your family are comfortable, safe, and secure. Stay tuned to get over a $500 value free on the most popular home standby generator in the world.
With the Generac, we don't have to worry about whether we use power. If the utility company does not approve, our Generac does. Having a Generac takes the anxiety out of there's going to be a storm.
After Hurricane Helene, we just want to be prepared for anything.
Generac generators are designed, engineered, and built in the USA. 8 out of 10 home generators are Generac and have thousands of satisfied customers.
How many times have you heard people say, I never want to go through that again?
I told him to stay back, to let me handle it.
Have a Generac home standby generator.
Call or go online now to request your free quote with one of Generac's nationwide dealers. Special financing and low monthly payment options are available. And if you call now, you will also receive a free 5-year warranty valued at over $500. The call is free, the quote is free, and there's no obligation to buy. Call or go online now so the next time there's a power outage, your home powers up. Power your life with Generac. Call or go online to request your free quote today.
You won't let Scout play with us anymore.
He has something called osteoarthritis. It's joint pain that hurts him all the time. Now, there's Librela, the first and only once-monthly injection to control your dog's OA pain. Veterinary professionals administering Librela who are pregnant, trying to conceive, or breastfeed should take extreme care to avoid self-injection, which can cause allergic reactions like anaphylaxis.
Hi, I'm David, and I lost 92 pounds on Golo. I noticed within a week that the release supplement really knocked out my sugar cravings. I didn't feel the need to go to the store for candy or go through the drive-thru after work. I feel so much better these days, and I have Golo to thank for that.
Sleep all day and wake up rejuvenated. Purple Mattresses exclusive Gel Flex Grid draws away heat, relieves pressure, and instantly taps. Sleep better, live purple. Right now, save up to $800 off mattress sets during Purple's President's Day sale. Visit Purple or store near you.
We are really fighting for freedom. We just want to live, to survive. We don't have alternative. We just want to survive.
Ukrainian President Zelensky making an urgent plea to the U.S. and lawmakers for more aid in their war against Russia 2 years after Putin's brutal invasion. As foreign aid stalled, Congress agreed an amount of ammunition. Zelensky's military is coming up with makeshift technology to counter Russia's advance. This live is the Ukrainian Minister of Strategic Industries, Alexander Kamyshin. Minister Kamyshin, talk to me if you about how it is that Ukraine has been able to depend now on makeshift weapons, what you call self-made air defense, and really this domestic military production.
Hey, Louis, nice to hear from you. Indeed, we're waiting for all the military aid we got from U.S. But meanwhile, we don't sit and wait. We start producing locally, and we start producing everything from ammunition to armored vehicles and to drones. And near the fence, we cooperate with U.S. Army and industry, and we make what we call do-it-yourself air defense. Or as we say with our U.S. partners, Frankenstein, that's Frankenstein, and Serpent air missiles. So finally, it works in the battlefield, and I'm grateful for all the trouble.
Minister Kamyshin, is it enough that you depend, if the U.S. lawmakers here in Congress can't get the aid together, can't send more U.S. military aid, is your domestic military production enough to survive and prevail?
We are going through the largest war generation. And in this kind of war, there would be never enough. No any single country would be able to withstand with its own defense industry against Russia. As President Reagan said one day, it's all about building the arsenal of democracy. And we're building the arsenal of the war now. So again, no matter how much we produce locally, no matter how much we get from outside, we will be always dependent on strong help from our strategic partners like US.
In talking just a little bit about the timing, we see the Russian offensive. They're starting to gain. They just took a town in the east, Avdiivka, and now you have the stalled U.S. aid. How significant is the timing right now of the lack of U.S. weapons and the small stockpile of domestically produced ammunition?
Great. In war, there is no timing issue. Better said that we need it yesterday. If not yesterday, that now. And again, we don't stop fighting. We fight. But that costs us more lives of our people.
Alexander, one thing that I found very fascinating about when I was reading and learning about what you're doing domestically, you actually have taken measures to repair American weapons. Talk to me about that.
It works pretty well now, and would work even better when we got some smaller amount of stocks, components supplied on a regular basis. But finally, we found a way so we can keep those machines running, because sustainment, that's crucial in this kind of the war.
Yes, sustainment certainly such a key part of the supply line. Lastly, I'll just give you the last 20 seconds. If you could speak directly to our lawmakers here in Washington, President Biden, what would you say?
I would say that we wouldn't stop fighting, we will keep fighting, but once we get this aid, we will save our lives. And finally, we should remember that 90% of those aid stays in the US and supports US industry. That's what makes your economy stronger, and that's what lets us fight against the tyranny, as my president said.
Minister Alexander Kamerson, thank you for your time today, and we wish you well.
Brief, thanks, bye.
Alicia?
While ceasefire efforts between Israel and Hamas
Fireball.
gain momentum, Netanyahu's long-awaited post-war plan reveals Israel's desire to control security and civilian affairs in the Gaza Strip. This is tensions with Houthi rebels in the Red Sea rise. Mike Tobin joins us now with more. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Alicia. As Iranian-funded proxies like the Houthis are doing what they can to destabilize this region, you have sailors and pilots in the Dwight D. Eisenhower carrier strike group putting themselves at risk to try to secure safe passage for ships in the Red Sea. On board the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower in the Red Sea off the coast of Yemen, there are no training missions. Every time one of these F-18 Super Hornets launch, they launch into what's called a weapons engagement zone, meaning we are close enough to the hostile that they're in the range of the hostile weaponry, in the range of what the Houthis would fire at the sky. So what these AOR, Sidewinder missiles for air-to-air contact, underneath the wing, 500-pound bombs for air-to-ground contact, for air-to-ground targets. What they're looking for are targets of opportunity or dynamic targets.
An alliance. But the truth is, we know little about him
What
or his people.
cannot do is
White Prospect
impossible
One
because the
is one of the
despite
gods.
U.S. contact, have
Eterra
got
knows him just as she made us keepers and gave him a role by her side. He's the guardian of his people, and he does his job well. Prospect 3. His people are warriors. Airborne fighters put us to shame. We fight because it is necessary while they relish in it. I'll take on being behind their blade any day. Thus, I propose we accept this alliance. It is not in our nature, but we keep it
And
as
Rear
a
Admiral
sacred duty
Rodriguez
to
says the
uphold.
sailors and pilots out there
Without
have to
her
get it right
help,
100% of the time. The Houthis taking pot shots at them only have to get it right once. Alicia?
Mike Tobin live in Tel Aviv. Thanks, Mike.
Sounds like their
Police
leaders
are coming up
waiting
on
up
one
at the shrine.
Colorado
The
town
keepers have done
standing
well.
up
This
sanctuary
place
city
isn't too different
policies.
from home. A group tied closely with our goddess, Eterra. We've been indebted to her. But
Knock,
why
knock. Number one
investigate
broker
mysteries
here
that
for the
interest the
number
Ospreys?
one hitmaker.
The
Thanks for
secrets the
swinging by,
keepers
Carl.
hold?
No problem,
Sure,
sir.
right,
We're all
well,
those for.
we speak to the
We
keeper
adjust the
council.
base, add
Speaking
more
of,
guitar, maybe
and
some
it's head
drums.
there now.
So many choices.
Feel free to look
Like
around.
Schwab, I can get full service wealth management, advice, invest on my own, and trade on thinkorswim.
You know, Carl is the only front man you need.
Oh, I gotta take this, Carl. It's Schwab. Have a choice in how you invest with Schwab.
I open up at 4 a.m. and as you can see, we are intensely active. And people say, Carolyn, what's your secret? And I say, it's from proper diet, proper exercise. I've been taking balanced approach for several years. I endorse it, I believe in it, and I would recommend it.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Get 35% off plus $10 off any additional sets with your first order as a preferred customer by using discount code Fox News. I remember seeing St. Jude commercials on TV and wondering, like, is that place legit? Like, those commercials are nice, but is that, like, a real thing? And having lived it, I can say for sure that that money is being put to incredible use. I've never once had to wait for insurance to approve a test or approve a medication. We didn't have to worry about any of those things thanks to the donations. And our family is forever grateful because it's completely changed our lives. What's the difference between home insurance and a home warranty? Home insurance covers general damage to home and belongings caused by unexpected events, like fire and storm damage and theft. A home warranty protects against what home insurance doesn't, like items in your house that break down due to normal wear and tear. An American Home Shield home warranty covers parts of items you rely on every day, like your AC, fridge, water heater, or
Sell
Sign
this.
up today at ahs.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to bring you my Keys and Dream bed sheets for the best offer ever. We're all experiencing unprecedented rising prices, but I was able to secure a limited amount of keys and cotton for a great price, and I'm going to pass those savings directly on to you. Get my Keys and Dream bed sheets for as low as $29.98 with your promo code. They're the most luxurious sheets ever, made with the world's finest cotton. Grown only in a region between the Sahara Desert, Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River, where the weather conditions are perfect for growing cotton. My sheets are ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. I guarantee they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 50% on my Keys and Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.98. Quantities are extremely limited at these amazing prices, so please order now.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin night and day. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. But now I have Rinvoq. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some Rinvoq patients felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days. Some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. And many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections of blood clots are fatal. Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occur. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Help heal your painful skin. Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how Abby can help you save.
The town of Monument, Colorado, voting unanimously to declare their status as a non-sanctuary city as migrants from the southern border continue to arrive in nearby Colorado Springs and especially Denver. For more on this, we're joined by Mayor of Monument, Colorado, Mitch Kind. Mayor, so good to see you. Thank you so much. You know, we're speaking from Denver. I'm working out of our studio in Denver, and as you know, last month the city of Denver announced that it had received more migrants per capita than any other city in the United States, a little more than 38,000 where it stands now. So With that in mind, right, and you're what, 50-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now. So can you explain how this resolution works? What does it mean, and how does it play out day to day for you?
I am Lena, one of two.
Well, and thank you for
There
having
should
me,
be more
Alicia.
of you.
The resolution is
They are
intended
gone.
to
Both us
first
and I
let the
remain,
citizens know
and he's not here.
that the town
As
council
such,
takes its
I must
fiduciary
ask for your
obligation
help.
seriously, and that we are not going to spend taxpayer dollars on supporting
Both us are busy checking on
the
our
illegal
sacred
immigrants
artifacts.
that could
We're
come
protected
down
with a
from
terrorist system,
Denver.
and right now, they're in
Denver
danger.
has its, as you know, they're
Not much,
tapping
I'm
into
afraid.
their regular budget,
We'll
which is
discuss it
taxpayer
after our
money,
alliance.
in order to support those illegal immigrants
You
that are
are,
being dropped
and I'm
off there.
sorry, but
And we
this
wanted to
is
make
how
sure
it
that
must
Denver
be.
knew, don't send them south to us.
Make sure he's
Colorado
safe.
Springs has
There's
done a
word
similar
of great
resolution,
patrolling
as
the
has
skies.
the El Paso County Commissioners.
They
Well, yeah, and you
can.
bring up the budgetary problems. Mayor
Both
Mike
is
Johnson of
interested.
Denver has said that this is
Hawaii
not
will do
overwhelmed,
that.
and they
Sure, I
have to
do.
cut budgets
With
across the
your
board
help.
all over the city. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Do this, and our alliance
We
is
have to
secure.
figure out a plan
We'll
for
lend
shared
ours to
sacrifice.
heal
We will have to
Boreal
figure out how to make some cuts to city budgets and city services without trying to impact those that are most at risk. We will have to restructure how we support migrants, the number of migrants we can support.
So, Mayor LeCun, you can see what Denver is attempting to do with the situation, but I want to go further because we also learned just today that the murder suspect in Lake and Riley's murder is a Venezuelan here in this country illegally, released to the United States via parole. When we start to talk about the money aspect, but there are so many Americans who are worried about crime in general, and this really brings home some of that concern that Americans all over have.
Yeah, first of all, the situation at UGA is completely tragic and could have been avoided had we actually had the federal government.
Good. See if I could save.
And the safety and security of the 10,000 plus residents here in Monument is of natural concern. And they have brought that up via email. I've had 30-something emails and voicemails sent to us since the resolution was passed, stating their approval of the resolution and their concerns about their safety and security.
Yeah, and we should add, and we have been talking about, this doesn't mean that all migrants, everyone who comes to this country, is some sort of criminal. However, when you talk about the sheer number who are crossing our border and being released into the country, law enforcement is simply unable to keep up with the backgrounds of who these folks are. And sadly, we're finding out that some of these backgrounds are very dangerous. And that's what you're talking about here.
Correct. I mean, I have a small department of police officers. We would be relying on the county to provide their sheriffs if we had situations.
We'll come back to it later.
What went down at UGA, or if bus loads came in and overwhelmed our police department, it would be problematic. And that is the biggest thing, is the safety and security of our citizens if there were criminals that were dropped off.
Yeah, and also, when you talk about the city of Denver, they have their sanctuary status, and I can tell you, just as a resident here, the city has changed. It's having a hard time at this time. But when you're talking about the people who live in your town, are they noticing anything different where you live? Like, are you seeing people arriving in your town that weren't there before?
No, not yet. We're actually not experiencing that at this time. However, so that the Colorado listeners can understand what's going on out of Denver, the mayor of Canyon City reached out to me in the last 48 hours and provided me a picture of a van that was dropped off by a Methodist church from Denver. And they dropped off a dozen illegal immigrants. They had no identification. They had no ability to speak English. And the police did not do anything with them. They just vanished into the community. And there are about 17,000 people in Canyon City, whereas Monument's only about 10,000. So there are vans making their way down.
Mayor Mitch LeCun of Monument, Colorado, it's really good to talk to you. Give us some perspective and kind of explain what some of these small communities surrounding these sanctuary cities are doing and experiencing. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's primary day in Palmetto State, and despite minimal campaigning, former President Trump is expected to win big in today's South Carolina Republican primary. And the American Reports team is on the ground, bringing us all the latest updates. Starting in just about 10 minutes, John Roberts is there with us. Hey, John, what's it like here? It seems like there's a pretty good turnout. The weather seems pretty nice. I was watching Mark Meredith's reporting. What do you expect? Good to see you. It is a beautiful day here in South Carolina. People are coming out to the polls today. It's a Republican primary, and Republicans, by and large, like to vote on the day. There was early voting here on Thursday, but a lot of people I talked to said, we're coming out, we're old school, we think voting day means voting day, and so they're showing up to the polls. In terms of Donald Trump, he said not a lot of campaigning. I guess you could say that it's quality versus quantity. Yesterday, he had a huge rally in Rock Hill, which is just over the border from Charlotte. A lot of people there. Nikki Haley's been doing some smaller events. She voted just a short time ago in her home in Kiowa, Iowa. And we'll be speaking with her in just a little while about the way forward for her. And some of the big issues that have popped up in just the last little while, including that horrific murder on the campus of the University of Georgia, where a person who came into this country illegally allegedly took the life of this young woman, and then how the in vitro fertilization decision at the Alabama Supreme Court suddenly exploded on the scene here in this campaign. A lot ahead for you, Griff, the next 2 hours. Hope you stick around. America Report coming up. Big show, John. December, good luck. Thanks, John. Alicia?
Great. Brawling, drinking, evading arrest. These are all competitive events in the first annual Florida Man Games. More on that next.
It's just your mother and I were joking.
Which is why we got Sling TV.
So we can watch live and free TV all in one.
That's right.
Sling is really keeping this family together.
We're building a better postal service. All parts working in sync to move your business forward. For more value, more reliability, and more on-time delivery. The United States Postal Service, built for how you business. Join American Cruise Line on an extraordinary journey along the Columbia and Snake Rivers. Follow the legendary route of the Safari and experience a war-winning shore experience to the most amazing destinations, including Mount St. Helens, Multnomah Falls, and the Columbia River Gorge. Aboard America's newest fleet of modern riverboats, enjoy spacious accommodations where magnificent views await you from your reclining balcony. Our gracious onboard staff ensures that your voyage will be unforgettable. Begin your journey today with the leader in modern cruising. Visit AmericanCruiseLines.com or call for a free cruise guide. Small ship cruising, built perfectly.
Once retired, Marcus decided I will never again work for another man or woman. I abandoned my corporate plan, and I've got a new plan, consumer selling for a hefty cost.
Let's go for this.
With freedom, we're here to answer.
Only Purple's Gel Flex Grip passes the raw egg test. No other mattress cradles your body and simultaneously supports your spine. Memory foam doesn't come close. Get your best sleep guaranteed. Save up to $800 during our President's Day sale. Visit Purple.com for a store near you.
Editions of Stars, James on Special American Reports.
There's a lot of loneliness and isolation. Reading us the story program as you work with our dogs by reading stories to them. Interaction with our therapy dogs that will make a very big difference with day-to-day mental health. Thank you for your support of the United Way. It allows our therapy dog program to visit seniors and youth in need.
way to stop our mistake. Further, faster.
The first ever Florida Man Games will take place in St. Augustine, Florida today. Contestants from all over the Sunshine State will compete in challenges like trying to outrun sheriff's deputies and holding pitchers of beer while sumo-style wrestling. The event also features a mullet contest and a fight between Florida's bravest police officers and firefighters. And Griff, I'm so sorry that you have to be in DC. You'll totally be covering this.
I'm pointing out this is an internet game, Florida Man, and it refers to people, the abundance of people in the state of Florida performing irrational, idiotic behavior. That's going to be something to watch. Alicia, great to join you on this busy news day. That's all for us this hour. America Reports, South Florida primary coverage. Coming up.
Okay, everyone. Our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strength and energy.
Ensure with 27 vitamins and minerals, nutrients from uniform, and ensure complete with 30 grams of protein. We handcraft every Stearns & Foster using the finest materials like indulgent membrane and ultra-conforming inner screens for a beautiful mattress and indescribable comfort. Save up to $800 on select adjustable mattress sets at stearnsandfoster.com. Fashion moves fast. Setting trends is our business. We need to scale with customer demand in real time. So we partner with Verizon. Their solution for us? A private 5G network. We now get more control of production, efficiencies, and greater agility.
With a custom private 5G network, our customers get what they want when they want.
Now we're even smarter and we're ready for what's next.
Achieve enterprise intelligence. It's your vision. It's your horizon. The most powerful pet odor eliminator in the world. No,
Seriously?
it's safe for people, pets, and the planet. What's this? Oh, that's pure ammonia. Just gotta poof it. Check this out.
Wow, I don't smell anything. Literally nothing.
That's because it's not this one. Poof! It's a commercial grade formula. No nozzle, no drilling, odor, eliminate. A formula used in the country's largest municipal waste companies to eliminate organic odors and make entire communities more livable. Yet it meets the most stringent safety standards. Pet odor, poop, urine, feces, vomit, litter box smell, plus the odor of the pets. Wet dog, eye odor, ear odor, face odor, sticky skin folds, any organic odor. One spray, and it goes away. Good as smell. Wow. Generic spray, cover up and reduce odor. I smell like poop. Instantly, it's factor odor uncollectible. It literally takes it out of the equation. Powerful enough to eliminate skunk odor and the stinking artificial dirt and garbage cans. Yet safe enough to use on pet toys, their beds, even on them. So why waste money on any product that doesn't totally eliminate the stink? Go now and get a 30-12 bottle of Poop for just $24.95 and get free shipping. And I guarantee you'll never use anything else again. Plus, get a free sample of Poop Laundry Odor Eliminator. Just one wash removes the toughest odors from your laundry and your washer. Get Poop on Amazon, Poop.com, Chewy.com, and select Walmart stores. If it's not Poop, it stinks. We decided to put in an in-ground pool.
And literally went on Angie and typed in pool.
Getting to talk to different contractors, see different bids,
We wanted something beautiful. We wanted something that our children would feel happy swimming in.
and we love it.
Get started today at Angie.com.
You want to save America? Then South Carolina tomorrow, you must go out and vote. You have to do it. It'd be nice to see us get back to where we were. The economy and
border security.
In a general election, you're given a choice. In a primary, you make your choice.
She seems the most sensible. She seems the most informed, and she has a lot of history.
Live look at South Carolina, where primary voters are casting ballots in the state's Republican contest with 50 delegates at stake. Voters will have to decide between their former governor or their former president. It's a big choice. Hello, I'm John Roberts, live from Columbia, South Carolina. Sandra, good to see you this Saturday afternoon.
Big day ahead of us. Great to be with you on this Saturday, John. Welcome, everyone. I'm Sandra Smith in New York, and this is a special edition of America Reports. Nikki Haley voting in her home state just a short time ago after weeks of campaigning on the ground there. But that is different from what we have been seeing from her rival, former President Donald Trump. He has only made a few campaign stops while looking ahead to the general election.
Of course, one of those campaign stops was in Rock Hill, South Carolina yesterday, just over the border from North Carolina, and it was huge. Maybe he hasn't done a lot, Sandra, but the ones that he's done have been very big. But Nikki Haley's been out there barnstorming the state as well. She's hoping for a good showing here. A win is going to be a tough hill to climb, but she's going to try to do it.
Yeah, and we're really interested to see what the issues are on the ground there for voters in South Carolina. Looking at New Hampshire, looking at Iowa, we know the Fox News voter analysis did reveal that it was about immigration so far from the border. It wasn't economy top of the list. That was, in some cases, a distant second. But those are the two issues so far that are the most pressing for voters coast to coast.
And a number of voters I talked to as they were having breakfast in the last couple of days were saying for them, immigration is the top issue as well. But there is another one that is rapidly emerging on the campaign trail. And joining us now to talk more about that and other issues facing the voters is presidential candidate Nikki Haley. Governor, it's great to see you. Spend some more time with you. Appreciate you coming on.
Great to see you. It's a great day in South Carolina. The sun is shining. People are out voting. It's going to be a good turnout today.
It is a great day. There's no question about that. I wanted to ask you about this because this is something that has really exploded on the campaign trail in just the last few hours, and that's the IVF rule by the Alabama Supreme Court. In response to it, earlier in the week, you said this about their finding that frozen embryos count as unborn children.
I mean, embryos to me are babies. I mean, I had artificial insemination. That's how I had my son.
That ignited some controversy, your declaration that embryos count, you say, as babies. Now the Democrats are trying to pin this on Republicans by saying this is what happens when you overturn Roe v. Wade. Do you, in fact, believe that frozen embryos are babies? And what would you recommend Republicans do in response to this rule?
So, first of all, the Democrats are hoping for another hot button issue. And the thing is, this again, yes, I personally believe embryos are babies, just like I am pro-life. But that doesn't mean everybody else has to think that embryos are babies. What is very important, I had to have fertility treatments to have both of my children. We are blessed when we can have these treatments and those options are available. We always want fertility options to be available to parents as they are trying to have babies of their own. But we also want to make sure that any decisions made with the embryos, it needs to be between the parents and the physician, period. This is a very sensitive subject. It requires a lot of respect. Let it happen between the parents and the physician. We don't need government getting involved in it. We want to make sure embryos are respected and protected properly. And we
How do I save this? Okay.
and the patients are
I guess it saves.
kept so that they are the ones that make that decision. All right, so fair to say you're standing by that comment, Governor. This is your rival, Donald Trump, on IVF. He said this at a rally last night.
I strongly...
Oh, thank God, it'll be saved. Okay, good. We'll catch you guys next time for sure, all right? Stay tuned. Peace.
...of the miracle of life.
Seems the two of you are finding agreement on the issue. Absolutely. I mean, I think that we want to make sure that parents like Michael and I can have children when